Let's talk about R&D in Malaysia and why is it important for the country and the companies that operates here. So Mr. T.K. Tan, could you please share your viewpoints?
Just to put a very simple example, over the last 2 years and 2.5 years of COVID, where parts are not available, or difficult to source, you need to be able to implement design change to ensure that the product can still go out the door, that people still can assemble the finished goods with, of course, the consent of the customer after testing and validation. If you don't have a qualified and experienced R&D, that would have been totally impossible to do, waiting for instruction from headquarters while they're trying to take care of all the other subsidiaries in the world. To be able to do everything under one roof has helped us to stay alive.
So, when we started this discussion about 6 years ago, we had a small handful of gallium nitride researchers who's got any kind of exposure. Today, we have around 80 gallium nitride researchers. Is that something that from coming from the industry, you find it to be something of an advantage for Malaysia?
Definitely is, and I think you can see that in my own company, AMS Osram's decisions to invest in those technologies in Malaysia is at least partly driven by the fact that we knew that there was available talent to develop and operate those processes. So having those skills is absolutely critical to some of the decisions large companies are making about where to invest in the technology. And so in Malaysia, we're not the only one. Other companies are also making that decision to invest here in 3,5 gallium nitride technologies because there's a talent pool. So no doubt it's a direct result of the program and the availability of those skills, 80 plus people. You don't need thousands, but you need a few hundred very skilled scientists, and we have the first 80. We're doing well.
We've also enabled the university to now be very much industry facing, especially in this particular endeavor.
That creates another culture that is, we really need a new set of vision and a new set of perhaps attitude towards research, which is being applied directly to the industry. And I think CREST has helped in bringing this collaboration together and creating a new culture, I think, in a research culture, whereby science must now talk to industries in order to solve industrial problems. I've always emphasized that research must be in context. If you lose that context, then research will not be as meaningful or as impactful as it should be.
Wonderfully said, Prof. I was told that one US patent was filed in 2014 and granted in 2018. Can you talk through a bit about that one?
So, and that's what I say is icing on the cake, isn't it, Jeffrey? Okay. So with this engagement, US patent was filed back in, like what you said, in 2014. So this was titled as a slim tunnel wind pod for communication devices that was incorporating the said slim geometry as part of the patent coverage. So and to boot, I would say this engagement also yielded to MSc graduates, right? So let's not forget the people's hard work eventually led to a productive outcome.
If you don't mind me asking, why Malaysia? I mean, you've got a whole selection, Taiwan, China, and everybody. Why Malaysia?
No, it's a great question. Primarily for us, we were introduced actually to the ecosystem in Malaysia by a great mentor of mine, Professor Sinsky at MIT. The necessary contacts were made, and I think we flew up to Penang. We met with you, and as I say, the rest is history. And very quickly through CREST, we were able to be put in touch and introduced to very, very capable manufacturers with a long history and expertise. So what that, and the partnership and the ecosystem there was also an introduction to manufacturers, but also to the Ministry of Health, through to universities as well, medical schools. So that was music to our ears in the sense that we've got this fantastic ecosystem where when the stones throw, we're able to access key opinion leaders from across those partnerships as well.